Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am building a pumpkin spice cafe. I'm really excited about this, guys, if you can't tell. But if you're interested in this build, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. So this is kind of like a super modern cafe. It's also can double as a library. Whichever venue you wanted, I made sure that it met both of those requirements just because, like, I don't know, I kind of, it's so big. I've never seen a cafe this big, so I was kind of like, maybe we should make it a cafe and something like a bookstore, but this is just a cafe library, so I thought that'd be cool. Kind of like, you know, Starbucks and Barnes and Nobles. Like, growing up, that was the best. Like, I would get, like, whatever cake they had. They always had, like, fancy cakes in the Starbucks, Barnes and Nobles that they didn't have at regular Starbucks, right? Is that just me? Am I, like, imagining things? I think that was the case. Anyways, my mom used to take us to Barnes and Nobles. It was the best, but here... We're already so far into the build, oh my gosh. I haven't said a word about it, but this is like, will be the death of me. It's mismatched wood tones in The Sims. I tried really hard to kind of keep everything together. Kind of worked, kind of didn't. Like, the window frames are a slightly different color wood than the other wood, and so it's just, but yeah, I had, oh my gosh, you guys, I had so much fun building this. Like, obviously inspired by the pumpkin spice latte. 'Tis the season. It's fall. Although I'm filming this on like the warmest fall day like ever. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like 80 degrees. I don't think it's 80 degrees. That's the high. I don't know what temperature it is right now, but it's really high. Like, having a high of 80 degrees in late September in Seattle is crazy. Like, I can't even. But anyway, in the spirit of this being a cafe, I started drinking coffee. I'm in the middle of drinking coffee. Like, usually I like tell you guys, oh my gosh, I just drank coffee and now I have all these weird like bodily noises coming out of me and it's gross and I cut it out or I don't, blah blah blah. This time I'm embracing it and I'm just drinking it right now. It's the best. I have an iced grande latte and then I have a slice of pumpkin bread because I'm not actually the hugest fan of pumpkin spice lattes. Like, they're okay, you know, they're good, but I'm not like crazy about them. Anyways, back to the build. I did this thing that lots of people have done before with the using bookshelves over the windows. The most recent example I can think of, which definitely did inspire this bit, was Gavin Sims. I saw it in his build when we collabed together, and I kind of wanted to do something with that because I haven't actually used this technique before, and so I've seen a whole bunch of other people do it, but just, you know, he's cool, so go check him out. Oh, the hyperness is real. It's real. But I just love how this build turned out. I had so much fun. Keep in mind though, this build took me about eight tries. Like, 8 tries. Some of them were like 15 minutes long, some of them were like 2 minutes long, but you know, just like kind of all over the board, like 8 different tries until I finally settled down on this. I kind of knew that I wanted this window thing going on with the big brown part of this build. Like, that's kind of what the focal point was at the beginning, and then I added like the orange wood, which I love. I haven't ever done a build, I don't think, with like this orange of an exterior, and orange is my favorite color, so I'm like very excited. I am very excited. I hope you guys like the like super bubbly commentary, because that's what I am bringing today in full force. Like, we are just going. But yeah, on Twitter, I was like, you guys, I'm having an existential crisis. I don't know if I should go modern my next build or if I should go rustic, because I think it could be really, you know, a pumpkin spice latte or a pumpkin spice cafe, like a cute little rustic version, you know, like, I think that could have been so adorable. And I was so torn because I was like, I don't know, do I want to do that? But finally I settled on modern, and I love how it turned out. I still think that a rustic could have been good, but I kind of wanted to use this lot. I haven't used it in a fair amount of time, like way back when I did a no base game challenge. But yeah, so it's a really fun lot, and this is where the cafe was before. This is in Windenburg, and it's honestly, this is probably like one of my favorite lots, but I almost never use it because it's not really a house lot. Like, it's kind of weird, but I think people should play, like, have houses in this, like, little neighborhood more often, because this is a fantastic neighborhood. Like, it's gorgeous. There's lots of people. It's cool. It's really cool. Like, a hilltop. Maybe I should do, like, a hilltop house. Maybe that's where I should build the Ponyo house. Not really, though, because that doesn't really fit. Maybe I should, though. I don't know. I was building it on the island of Windenburg before I, like, took a break on it. But we'll see. I need to do a Ghibli build soon. I promised you guys I would, and then things happen. But we're all over the place. But yeah, so the like the bookshelf things, like the slats, those were difficult. Those were really annoying to place. Oh my gosh. And I cut out me doing half of them, and I also used the copy tool because thank you, Sims, that is my, like, BFF. I also did that with the bathrooms later on, so that cut down on a lot of time. But yeah, I basically just, like, did the whole bottom half of that brown section and then duplicated it and put it on top, and I was like, we're good. We're good. But yeah, so here I'm adding a little bit of a foundation, and I end up using a foundation from the by debug mode. I don't really know why this is the way it is, but I really liked how it looked, and none of the other ones looked quite like it. They didn't have that same sort of dark color, so I went with it. And I hope that works. I think it should. I mean, you can also access the City Living Foundation, which just creates a pit of nothingness. Like, it literally just, like, punches the hole in the world. If you haven't ever, like, seen it, I highly recommend you just take a look at it, because it is crazy. Like, that's how you make a floating house or something. Ooh, that sounds like a fun idea. Oh my goodness, maybe I should do that. Huh. We will see. We will see if I can actually work that into something, because it's a really weird, because it's supposed to, like, be for the skyscrapers and the apartments in City Living, so that's why that's there. But whew, I'm going too fast. We're good though. But yeah, I just love how this orange turned out. I thought of doing, I, like, kind of brought the orange forward to, like, give him more, like, interest on the bottom porch, and I thought of doing it on the upper too, but then I thought it looked kind of disjointed, so I didn't do that. I'm sorry, I cut out me figuring out the floor plan and the coloring of this. Sorry about that. Although mostly with the coloring, a lot of it just mirrors what's on the exterior wall. I just kind of thought that'd be cool to have, like, the orange section and the dark brown section and the cream section. Oh, I don't even know if I said this. Pumpkin, or the orange color represents pumpkin, duh. The dark brown represents coffee. And then the cream color represents the foam. I'm so smart. I'm not. It's okay. Oh my gosh. I personally am a huge fan of foam. Like, I am that person who's like, oh, and can I have extra foam, please? And the more foam, the merrier. Like, I probably shouldn't ask for extra foam, because that means I get less of the actual drink that I'm paying for. But I just love foam. Like, oh, something about it. It's just so delicious. I'll, like, eat it up with a spoon. Like, if friends get foam and they're like, oh, I hate foam, I'm like, oh my god, give that to me now. I will eat it. Oh my gosh, yes. But yeah, I really enjoy it. But here are the little bathrooms. I think they turned out pretty cute. They're pretty basic. Honestly, I used, they're base game doors, but they're the bathroom doors that signify male or female genders, and I personally don't like using those, just because in this fantasy world of The Sims, where technically sexism doesn't exist, I don't think. Does it in The Sims? I don't think it does. No. Like, especially with the new update, there are no, like, gender norms, really. Not that I can think of. Like, I don't really see a point of having separated bathrooms, per se, like, you know? Especially with these, which are one stall. But the ones that they have, which are like gender neutral bathrooms, they didn't come in the right colors, and so I just was like, okay, whatever. I don't always do this, you know. Also, it's just annoying with gameplay because most people play with the walls down, and so you tell your sim to go to the bathroom, and they're like, no, and you're like, just go to the bathroom. You're about to pee yourself, and the sims are like, no, I refuse, and you're just like, why are you doing this to me? And then finally, like, they pee themselves, and that's when you realize that the entire time you were telling your female sim to use the male bathroom, and that's why they said no. So that was a really long rant and I apologize. I don't know if I'm actually this passionate about that, but that's where we went. But yeah, I just can't with this build because I love it so much. Like, honestly, maybe it's just because I was feeling so hardcore builder's block. I was just like, I don't know what to do. I was really frustrated. There was a whole little Twitter exchange where like I said, you know, I was like, oh, I don't know whether to do modern or rustic. And then I was like, okay, I'm doing rustic, guys. And everyone was like, okay, cool. I can't wait to see what you build. And then I'm like, psych, I did modern. And I like showed a little sneak peek and people are like, yes, so rustic. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. But here, this room is like a little conference room. I thought that was really cute. It's not like really usable. Like, it doesn't really have that big of a function. But I wanted something to do with that space, like, because here I have kind of like a little computer lab area, and like, honestly, this build wasn't even like big enough in a way for what I wanted, because I wish I had more areas for desks, because it kind of did turn into a library, and, you know, I'm thinking of the libraries I've been to, they have like, you know, a lot more sitting areas and like desk areas, but, you know, we're keeping it a little simple. I don't even know how we can say that when looking at this build, which has like all of those like boards on. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so it turned it into a conference room, which I have seen in a lot of cafes, because like people like to like, yes. Oh, my language is I'm just so good. But people like to go to coffee houses for like or not conferences, but like meetings and stuff. And so I kind of want to do that, and it's just something I've never done before in The Sims, and so I thought it'd be cool. Although the clipping, it does drive me a bit crazy. It'll probably drive some of you guys crazy, but that's how I wanted it to look, like, you know, with the glass. And when you're not moving, it looks really nice. Just stand still. Just stand really still. And there you go. It looks good, right? Having qualifiers on something like that, like, oh, if you just stand really still, it looks good, it's like, it's like, no, it doesn't actually work that way, bud. But I added in a little kids corner. I thought that'd be cute. This is just kind of a coffee shop for everyone, I guess. Like, there's like little, yeah, I mean, books, kids corner, conference area, but I had a lot of fun. I keep saying that, but you know, it was nice. It was just so nice doing and being like so orange oriented, like, because orange is, I've talked about this before. I probably shouldn't talk about it too much because people are going to be like, oh my gosh, Penelope, shut up about orange. And I'm just going to be like, but you guys, I love it so much. But yeah, orange is a color that like is kind of like pooped on. People don't like it for whatever reason. I think it's a gorgeous color. I mean, well, actually, most oranges are actually a pretty gorgeous color. Like, honestly, it's hard-ish to find an ugly orange color, because I think it's a lot easier to find, like, a gross yellow color. So I understand when people are like, oh, I don't like the color yellow. But the color orange, I'm just like, guys, come on, look, it's gorgeous. But, so I had a lot of fun just, like, going crazy with the orange. And so this will most definitely be too much for some people, but it's pumpkin spice like themed, so the orange is like in full swing. But I had this kind of fun idea where I would separate those paintings and kind of make it into two paintings instead of the one with, like, you know, the cat, the dog, the cat, the pug, because I love pugs, and we gotta highlight the fact that that is a pug. I wouldn't want to erase that because I love pugs. But then the kids corner was kind of looking too cluttered, so finally I took out all the little posters and just added one painting there, which I think made it look a little less cluttered, and I got to keep the pug, so honestly, we're all good. But I cut out a lot of me trying to figure out what sofa to use here, because, like, I was pretty sure I wanted to use an orange sofa. Here, you know, I'm trying out the cream, I'm just like, I don't even know what to do anymore, but this corner is so dark, because it's just the dark hardwood against the dark wood like walls, and it's really intense. And so I knew I didn't want a brown sofa, which would have been a lot easier to find. So then I had to go orange, and then I wasn't sure if I wanted to go modern. But finally I did decide on a very not modern looking piece of furniture, and that is because it's kind of like a hipster vibe to it, and so I think it works. Also, you know, kind of like it's reminiscent of Friends, maybe, you know, that this I almost kind of imagine that this would be the mom's corner, though. Like, all the moms would come together and like drink their coffee and like watch their kids play or something, or the dads, or the parents' corner. The parents, they're all hanging out. Yeah, all hanging out. But yeah, oh, and I love the carpets I ended up using here. I used those 2 carpets that look almost exactly like each other, but they're slightly different, and it brought in a blue element, and I just thought that looked really cool. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I'm just so hardcore in love with this build. Like, I really can't. But yeah, oh, I'm trying to look at my notes to see if there's anything. I'm gonna sip some coffee, look at my notes. That reminds me, I hope you can hear the the rattle of like ice in my drink, because I kind of want that aesthetic in here. Like, I want you guys to know I'm drinking coffee. What am I even doing? I'm like feeling really intense. I just got off work, and I was not feeling well yesterday. And by the way, I posted on Twitter, and thank you guys for some of you guys who were like, oh, I hope you feel better. Thank you. I do feel a lot better. I don't know what it was. I got like really lightheaded, really like headachy, and I was just so hot. Like, I was sweating. And so today did a lot better. Like, I ended up just going home and like sleeping for a bit, and I edited down the speed build. But yeah, what was I gonna say? I remember what I was gonna say, but finally got to use these cabinets in this color. It's not quite orange, but I feel like it's like orange enough, and I love how this turned out. I think it looks so cute. Like, I need to make a clip of myself saying that. I love how this turned out. I think it looks so cute. And then I can just like press a button and play it. Like, that's what we can do. I can just keep pressing the button throughout the entire build, and it'll just be like a constant loop of me saying, I love how this turned out. It's so cute. I love how this turned out. It's so cute. Okay. Let's not actually do this. But yeah, I forgot the coffee clutter. You can get like little coffee bags from the buy debug mode, and I should have put those everywhere. I should have made a little stand selling coffee, but instead I picked out books, which I mean makes sense, you know, and I like the little layout I did. I put it on this little table that I'm working on the situation above right now, and I thought that looked really cute, and I like how I framed this picture with a mirror. Like, I like adding that frame. I like turning it into like a new painting pretty much. I also just like the coloring of that painting with this build. It's like on point. But yeah, so, but I'm kicking myself. Like, that I miss those coffee bags, because I really could have, they just would have added so much, you guys, and I just missed them. I added literal giant pumpkins, but I missed the coffee. Like, you can add it in game. You can add it, make this build what it was truly made to be. But yeah. But yeah. Oh, also, the bookshelves that I use, they're kind of red. They're more red than orange, but it was kind of funny because the last time I used them was in a build where I kind of did a similar color scheme, like with the red sort of wood, although in that case it looked more red than orange because it was in Oasis Springs. But that build was so long ago, and I kind of like, I put it on in the background because I kind of wanted to hear how my commentary was, not like at the very beginning of my YouTube career, but like mid-career. That's funny. Anyway, my mid-YouTube adventure, let's call it that. And I talked about the build a lot more. Now I like write down like little stories to talk about when I no longer have anything to talk about in the build. Like, for example, I went to yoga this weekend. It was fantastic. I've practiced yoga by myself at home pretty, you know, not very frequently, but you know, I've kept doing it every once in a while. And so finally I went with a friend to like an actual yoga class. It was actually my first time going to a yoga studio because I learned how to do yoga at the gym at my college. So I felt it was kind of fun. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a city girl, because I live in Seattle for the first time. I'm a city girl doing city yoga in a yoga studio. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I have weird little moments like that, because I've never lived in a big city before, and so all of a sudden I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I have city friends, and it's really weird. But back to the yoga. At the very end, we like said Om in different tones. And then the instructor was like, okay, now I'm going to do a chant, and some of you guys may know it, and if you do, feel free to join along with me. If you don't, that's okay. And so we start doing the Ohms, and everything's good. And then she starts on the chant, and she just starts singing happy birthday, because it was somebody in the class's birthday, and it was the cutest, funniest thing that I've ever experienced in a yoga class. It was like the best. Like, everyone was like laughing. It was really fun. But yeah, here's that conference table again. Also, I changed the chairs because it was too much orange. Even I have a threshold, you guys. It was a little too much orange, and I thought this kind of matched the rest of the build a bit better. But yeah, I kind of wanted to fill in the center because it's like a weird hole in the universe. And that's the portal to Narnia, guys. This is how you get there. Or it's that portal in Minecraft that takes you to the nether. The nether. So you just need to like collect a whole bunch of like eyes and whatever, and then light a fire. Don't light a fire. Don't actually do that. And then just jump through the hole, and then you're in a new world. Whether or not you end in Narnia or the nether or nether Narnia, whatever. Who knows? It's a portal. I can't with myself. Ooh, I'm looking at my notes again. That's how I come up with this. Not completely random. But speaking of pumpkin and squash, it's kind of butternut squash season now too, which love butternut squash. It's great squash. But I just have this fun little story. My boyfriend and I used to get like pre-packaged butternut squash all the time, but then they kind of just stopped making it. Like, we found it once or twice, you know, but like it used to like just be part of like everyone made butternut squash. That was like one of the options, you know, next to like cheese tortellini. But they don't make it as much where we live, and I don't know why that is. But in one of the once the only butternut squash at the store was like this weird artisanal stuff, so we bought it. We're like, okay, you know, maybe it'll be good. It's a little expensive, but whatever. So we make it, and it's like the worst butternut squash we've ever eaten, and it's like weirdly sweet, and we're just like, what is in this? And so we look at the ingredients section, and it literally had cookies in it, like actual cookies. It was bizarre. Like it said, oh, this has cookies in it, and then it said the ingredients of the cookie, and we were just like, why the heck is there cookies in this pasta? It was the weirdest experience. Like it was bizarre. Oh my gosh. But yeah, here the build is mostly done at this point. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. Like, I still have talking points and we didn't even hit. But I'm just kind of setting up an outdoor area, and then I end up doing some landscaping, really using orange flowers, and that's pretty much the build. But let's see, what story should I tell? Would you guys like to hear about the bikes or about the food sample story? I think I'll talk about the bikes. We can save the food sample story for later. You'll have to remind me next time. I feel like I'm talking like where I'm actually talking to you guys, but like you're not here. So anyways, Seattle has these new bikes. They've been around for, you know, a couple months, but I've really just started noticing them. And so they have these, what they're called, Lime bikes, and they're bikes you can pay to ride. But the thing is, you don't have to put them in a docking station when you're done. You can just drop them wherever. And so it's so weird. There are just all these bikes littering Seattle. They're just like on every street, you know, they're just like kind of everywhere. They're random places. And some people have been putting them like up in trees because you can technically do that. And like there's this really big like statue of a troll underneath the Fremont Bridge, which I've never actually seen in person. I've seen in pictures. But there's like this troll, and somebody climbed it and put the bike on top of it, or like somebody like went out to like a pillar in the water area, and so the tide was out, and so they put the bike on top of it, and then when the tide came back in, they took a picture of it because now the bike is on its island. And so it's weird. And the really funny thing is there are now two other like competing companies like of red bikes and yellow bikes, and so it's like this weird like, orange or red versus yellow versus green bikes, and it's just like, it's weird. But anyways, we are coming up to the end of the build. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I honestly had so much fun with this build, and I had a lot of fun with this commentary. Like, obviously, maybe I should drink coffee during my commentaries more often, because I am like revving to go. I could go another 20 minutes. Thank goodness I'm not. I bet that's what you guys are saying. You're like, oh my gosh, stop. But yeah, I hope you guys are all having a really great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!